Welcome back to Story Time. Last week we heard a story where a child gave the highest teaching to his mother. Today let's hear something in reverse. This is the story of a great and noble mother of our land by the name of Madalasa. Now Madalasa was the daughter of a Gandharva king and she was married to King Ritadwaja. They had 4 sons, but there was a condition put forth by Madalasa that as she was very knowledgeable and learned in both the societal laws, the rituals, dharma, as well as the highest knowledge of the Lord or Brahman, so it would be she who would impart education to the children. And the king gladly agreed. Now, this queen had actually been rescued by the king Ritadwaja from Patala Loka because she had been abducted and kept captive there. But now that they were married and they got 4 children, it was decided that Madalasa would take care of their formal education. In fact, the first 3 sons were given very great and noble names by the king. The first was named as Vikranta, which means the valiant, courageous one, just like how a king's son should be. The second was named Subahu, which meant powerful, good, strong hands and shoulders, just as strong as a prince ought to be. Now, the third son was named as Shatrumardana, and as the name suggests, it was hoped and prophesied that he would destroy all the enemies. When it was turn for the 4th son to be named, Madalasa said that she would do the naming because every time the king had named their previous sons, Madalasa would burst out laughing. So now of course the king also was curious to know what name Madalasa would think of. And to his surprise and horror, she named the 4th son Alarka, which means mad dog, and she started laughing again. Now the king was very angry. He asked her, "What is the use of keeping such a meaningless name for our dear son?" And Madalasa laughed again. She in fact began singing a lullaby for her crying son. Another interesting thing about the upbringing of the earlier 3 sons was that these 3 children were taught by their mother in such a way that all of them had decided to give up the kingdom, go to the Himalayas and spend the rest of their lives in meditation and become perfect yogis. So now the king was worried. He wanted an heir to the kingdom, but he could not go back on his word because the condition put forth by Madalasa right at the onset was that she would take care of the upbringing of the children. And now when he saw that such an unusual and silly name was given for his 4th son, he was beside himself in rage and anger. And as he watched and heard, he could hear Madalasa singing a lullaby. To her crying son, she told him, "Wake up." Imagine telling a crying baby to wake up instead of putting the baby calmly to sleep. She told the baby, "Wake up from this slumber. Wake up from this deep sleep of ignorance. Remember, you are the pure self. You are that highest Lord in this body which is just like a coat or a jacket worn over you. You are spotless. You are sinless. You are blemishless. In fact, what is the use of a name? Any name will suffice. Don't cry, my little one. A name is just for communicating with people. But you are not the name. The name is only for the body, which is made up of the 5 elements. You, my son, are that highest supreme self, which is beyond name, beyond form, beyond these 5 elements and the body. Don't cry, little one. Come on, wake up, realize this truth." And as the king heard, he realized that this son too might become a yogi if daily his wife would sing such lullabies for the little one. And so he decided to take over the education of that child himself. Now the king had gone back on his word, and so Madalasa had to leave. So now the prince became well versed in the art of ruling, in the art of warfare, in the art of kingship, and soon he ascended the throne. However, his mother had given him her ring with a secret message inside that, and she had told her son to open that ring and read the message only when he was in absolute danger, or when he came to a point where there was no solution in front of him. And this was what happened. Once, when an enemy king subdued him, when he was overthrown and when he was totally lost, he remembered his mother, just like we do whenever we are in utmost danger or in sorrow. And so he went to the ring, opened it and read the message. And the message said, "Son, try to give up all kinds of company, and if you cannot, at least stick to only the company of the good. Try to give up all kinds of desires, and if you cannot, just keep one desire, the desire for liberation, the desire to get the knowledge of the highest." After reading this, the son Alarka got a renewed sense of energy. This is what his mother's message did to him. And soon he went in search of knowledge. He went into the deep forest till he reached a place where the great sage Ashtavakra was meditating. He posed many questions to the sage. He asked all that he wanted to know, and the sage gladly agreed and answered. And so, in this holy place of Vakreshwara, by the grace of Lord Dattatreya himself, Alarka, the king, the fourth son of Madalasa and Ritadwaja, soon became the greatest and learned yogi. He became a realized master. In fact, at that time, the enemy king came running back to him, offering him the kingdom, saying that he had to be forgiven. He had committed a great blunder, to please take back the kingdom. But now Alarka knew better. He knew that these material things, the wealth, the riches, the kingdom was not for him. That was not the ultimate purpose in life. After getting the highest, why would he accept something lower? And so he refused the offer and continued remaining as a sannyasi and became one of the greatest yogis of his times. Such was the magic of the great Mother Madalasa. 4 sons of hers, all of them reaching the highest in their spiritual pursuit. And isn't it true that every mother, be it a mother who has given birth to her child or a mother who has adopted her child, always has the best interest of her children? Though she may appear harsh, for just like Madalasa named her son Alarka a mad dog, yet deep down there is some reason behind her so-called harshness, her so-called scoldings maybe, her so-called temper, her so-called harsh words, that a mother always wishes the best for her children. I hope this story of Madalasa inspires us to become better children of our mothers, to respect them for what they are, to try and remember all the good that they have done to us, for whatever we are today is because of them. If you like this story, do share it with your family and friends, and do subscribe to the channel, and I will be back with another story next Thursday. Until we meet again, Hari Om.